Low carb diets and fasting will only get you to a certain point because eventually you'll hit a plateau in fat loss and you'll be spinning your wheels, unable to lose any more weight or just gain the weight right back. And in this video, I'm going to explain the truths about low carb diets and fasting and where people go wrong when they hit an actual fat loss plateau. So my name's Adam Bono. I'm an online fat loss professional and I specialize in metabolic priming, a process of metabolism manipulation that's helped 150 men across the world get into elite level shape. I have over 40 client testimonials and transformations on my main page, and so if you want to check some of those out, go ahead and do so. But in this video, I'm going to explain the false truths and the misconceptions about low carb diets and about fasting. Low carb diets, fasting, and these other fad diets that you guys see on the internet only get you so far. And the reason is because these diets in general are made for the majority. They're made for the mass amount of people. And why they gain their popularity is for one simple reason, is that they help put you in a calorie deficit. So people who don't know how to track food, people who don't know how to track macros, people who don't know exactly how much protein, carbs, and fats they actually need, simply just drop a carbohydrate or eat in a certain calorie range, or just simply eat meat, and it helps put you in a calorie deficit. And yes, for the majority of people who are overweight and need the little bit of assistance, who don't know how to track calories or are unwilling to learn, doing these fad diets is going to help you lose weight. But at a certain point, you're going to get to a certain point where you can't lose any more weight and you've kind of hit a standstill, or you've just simply gained the weight right back. And so let's kind of put into context when we're talking about calories in, why people using these diets end up hitting a fat loss plateau. So let's say for low carb, for instance, we just cut an entire macronutrient out. Obviously, it's going to be easier for you to be in a calorie deficit, but what happens when you hit a plateau? There needs to be some sort of adjustment. You can't change a low carb diet. You can't change the fact that you don't know how many calories you're actually eating because you're only cutting a macronutrient out. You can't cut more of what you're already missing out of your diet. And so at the end of the day, you hit this certain plateau. But what happens subsequently of you actually going out and doing this and lowering your carbohydrates is that you hit a fat loss plateau and then you gain the weight right back due to metabolic adaptation. So what metabolic adaptation is? Your body's process of actually adapting to the amount of food that you're eating over time, lowering your metabolism to subside and to equal what you're already eating per day. It's a simple starvation mechanism of the human body that happens over time when eating in a calorie deficit. So think about like prehistoric times when you go days without eating a meal. What your body's going to do is lower your metabolism to savor that energy for longer, to burn that energy slower, and to save your essential body functions, which makes up 60% of your entire metabolism, which is your actual BMR. So with low carb diets, people just cut their carbohydrates out completely out of their diet. They ruin their metabolism, and each summer, after summer gets over, they just gain the weight right back through winter. Instead of learning how to calorie deficit, learning how to track macros, how much carbohydrates you actually need, and so you can make sustainable progress and you can keep that progress. The same thing applies with these carnivore diets. These carnivore diets, they're a one-sided approach for the mass majority of people to help put you in a calorie deficit. And at the end of the road, once you've actually made the progress and you've hit that plateau, people don't understand or know how to lower calories and how to lower the amount of food they're eating. These one-size-fits-all diets and these fad dieting approaches are a simple mechanism for simple-minded people who won't go out and do the work to actually learn how many calories and macronutrients that you actually need to eat. Because there's a purpose within every single macronutrient within your body. If you were to search any article online, the best diet is the most well-balanced diet. It's the most sustainable. It's the best for your hormones. It's the best for your body composition. A well-balanced diet of protein, carbs, and fats specific to what you do for a living, how active you are, and what your current actual goals are. So these fad diets that you see, yes, they will help you make the initial progress, but they're for a majority of people. And if you want an extraordinary body, why would you be following what everybody else is doing? You need to actually learn, because learning is where sustainability comes from. The education creates consistency. Consistency creates sustainability. So where you guys are going wrong, where I see everybody go wrong, is yes, that low carb diet, that keto diet, that carnivore diet, or fasting in general will help you make the initial progress, but it won't keep you there. The reason why I know is because I've worked with hundreds of men all around the world who have tried those exact diets that you guys are trying right now, just to spin their wheels over and over again and get subpar lean without getting that extra little last bit of belly fat off of you, because you need carbohydrates in your diet. You need protein, carbs, and fats in a specific amount to actually tailor you to a next level physique. And the reason that fasting, for instance, gets its popularity is not because it helps you lose weight. It helps you put yourself yourself in a calorie deficit. So for instance, it doesn't matter if you eat 2,000 calories in one sitting or you eat 4 meals that add up to 2,000 calories over the course of the day. It only helps simple-minded people put themselves in a calorie deficit without having to actually learn how to track calories. And where most people go wrong with fasting is they'll starve themselves all the way to this certain hour per day that they give themselves to eat, and then they go and they overeat in actual calories. They're never even in an actual calorie deficit. And so these fast-acting diets will not be the reason that get you to a next level physique, and 1000% will not be the reason that's going to actually keep you there and help you sustain it. Because if you're following the same approach that the majority of people do, and you're expecting an extraordinary body, you're just going to hit that plateau that everybody else is hitting, and you're just going to gain the weight back just like everybody else. And for a ton of men that come to me, you can actually tell the people that have crashed their metabolism and have been stuck under a certain amount of calories for an extended period of time because they have this extra layer of fat built up after hard dieting, gaining the weight back, and crashing their metabolism terribly. The extra layer of fat that is hard to get away because they have done this process over and over and over again and gain the weight just right back. Instead, you need to learn how many protein, carbs, and fats you actually need to eat to get to a next level physique, to improve all your health and hormone factors, to get you to a point where you don't have to keep following the same restrictive diet over and over and over again, but you can actually have balance within your overall nutrition. Because balance creates that consistency, creates that sustainability. And when you have balance, it's a lot easier to follow than starving yourself, scared of carbohydrates all your life, or following the carnivore diet where you just eat as much meat as you can. Any simple-minded moron can do that. But you guys who want to get to a next level physique, you need to understand and learn how many protein, carbs, and fats you actually need to eat to get there. Because if you don't, you'll be going through the same process over and over and over again, spinning their wheels for the rest of your life, not understanding or knowing how to have balance, how many carbohydrates, protein, carbs, and fats that you need to eat to improve all your hormone levels, to improve your health markers, and to get you to that physique that you're actually happy with. So if you need more information, you need more education, follow my page. There's tons of free information all over my page on exactly what you need to do and how to get to that next level physique and why these low carb diets, these keto diets, these carnivore diets aren't benefiting anybody. And so follow my page, like, comment, and subscribe. We do videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday on exactly what you guys want to hear and how we can get you to that next level physique. Because the whole purpose of this channel is to get you guys into elite level shape, to give you the education and the guidance to get to the elite level shape. So follow my page, like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to turn on my bell notifications for Wednesday, and because we're going to be teaching you even more about what you specifically need to do to get to the next level physique.